So, very good evening. Very good evening, all of you. This is the Inner Circle Meet. All the past students, or a lot of the past students, are here with me live right now. So, first of all, I welcome, and we're going to do this again and again more frequently, right? We're going to do this more and more frequently. Each one of you, first of all, I tell you, each one of you is an asset to the group. Each one of you is really an asset to the entire group. And the purpose of this meeting is to discuss how we can take forward this group in a more streamlined way, build a community in which each one of you will be instrumental, contributing, as well as going to benefit from the contribution and knowledge sharing of others. In this market, there's so many opportunities, so many things going on all the time. We together as a team can bring in more power and more clarity to each other over time. Now, for example, incidentally, we were discussing this in the Momentum Strategy group, although now that group will also be a part of that core group, right? So, incidentally, we were discussing those things, primarily that how the momentum strategy was giving a buy signal in Bank Nifty, and should we wait for the resistance zone to get out, or should we wait for some dips to buy in, or should we just not take the trade right now, or should we just take the trade right now? Whatever the agenda was, we were discussing with each other the logic behind it. And I think this was around 3:15 we were discussing it, right before the close. And so Bank Nifty went up and then gave a small dip. So at a given point in time, I know all of you have learned very well. All of you are very disciplined with your homework each and every day. All of you are getting the moves and on regular basis being able to trade. And today we're going to share with each other, the last two trades, each one took the logic behind it and how the trade played out. Okay, we're going to share all those kind of things. At time to time, if you want, I can unmute you also, and you can share with each other verbally. Just make sure that where you are sitting, there's not much outside noise, because the microphone tends to be very sensitive on this platform, right? So the inner circle, guys, is about getting a lot of students together. It's been about more than 3 years I've been teaching, and a lot of students who are not on WhatsApp, a lot of students are not on inner circle group, for whichever reason that they are not trading or they are not on WhatsApp by itself. But most of the students are in the inner circle group, right? And in the inner circle group, we keep discussing interesting things and interesting plays. Now, what the purpose of this meeting is to streamline how we discuss it. The moment somebody shares something, 20 other people, 50 other people, whoever is watching it at that moment should be able to understand what the other person is trying to communicate. Number one. Number two, stocks should be communicated at certain times in certain ways with certain supporting evidences. The main motive of understanding through the structure of technically sorted is that you do not use only one parameter to take a trade. You use multiple variables when there's a concoction, when there's things coming together, when there's a confluence. That acts as a more powerful setup, higher confirmation, and you have and the more you develop your skills across your best set of variables, the more developed your trades are also. Apart from the variables that you use, the time frames also act as a variable, because in X time frame something is happening and a lower time frame than X something else is happening. Well, maybe X time frame is very bullish and the lower time frame of X is still not very bullish. So accordingly you have to place your trades, accordingly you have to make your decisions, and accordingly you have to hold on to your positions. If you are along with the X time frame, then you wait for the X time frame to get in alignment with the other time frame, right? So those kind of things are always going to be in play, and those kind of things are not something which I have seen a lot of people are being able to communicate very clearly. What most people are communicating is a chart with something drawn on it with a one-liner explanation, and that's it. Now, although that is something very good and sometimes very sufficient also, but we want to make it more than that. We want to make it more and more clear than that. So we are going to invite a format of sharing knowledge, sharing ideas with each other. When it comes to the live market, sometimes yes, it is difficult to share things in the live market by making a screenshot, writing something in details, etc. That is understood. But when it comes to pre-market hours or post-market hours, where you have done your homework and there is an analysis which is coming out, we all come to a set of stocks, right? So suppose 10 people on a given day are sharing their idea, for example, and out of 10, each one has 3 stocks on their radar. So person number 1 may see something which is on the radar of person number 3 and realize that he missed that bit out, and learn from it, as well as possibly trade and make money of it also. At the same time, there will be people sharing common things. So person number 3, 5, 8, 9 are sharing the same stock. So that is something worth more of a limelight in many ways. So those things should be on our limelight, which is being covered by a lot of people, right? So that kind of thing will be one of the priority, the ways to share. And the other thing is that a lot of you are doing a lot of research, and that is excellent. So Chavanji, for example, started the culture with this group, and that was he wanted to share his momentum strategy over a webinar, and I was more than happy when he said that. And the first time he shared it with me was about in March, the month of March, and that time, since that time, he's been doing research and working on that strategy, which is a very simplistic strategy but very specific to his rules, and those rules are something he studied over a number of period of charts, over number of stocks, and he's applied trading to it, so he knows the thing, right? Now, at whichever stage of developing something you are in, suppose you're in the stage of developing something, you have not started to trade, but in observation it is coming to great, you can it's coming great, so you can still share it. Step one is to contact me, get in touch with me, show what it is, make me understand what you're trying to say. Then I'll filter out and iron out certain points, and then we can go ahead and when the things are developed and ready, maybe you want to work on it a little more, you want to clarify it a little more, and then we can show it to all students, share it with everyone in the inner circle group. Now, once everybody starts sharing, what happens is that this culture develops. That it first of all inspires. I'm sure. How many of you raise your hands? How many of you are really inspired by Chamanji with what he did? I am, right? Wow. So I think all of you who attended his webinar are inspired by what he did. That's great. So first of all, thank you, Chamanji, for the wonderful, expression to come ahead and share what your findings are on this strategy. Now, of course, there will be any strategy will have spaces like, okay, say Bibarish comes tomorrow and says that Tata Global is a sell, okay, and or BPCL is a sell, and his strategy is talking about that being a sell, and somebody else's, suppose Puneet says, but my analysis already says that it is a sell, so how does your strategy get something different? So that is not the purpose. The purpose is that if one strategy can get us consistent results, okay, if 10 times Vivarish comes with his strategy and says that this is pointing out towards the upside or the downside, out of that most of the time he is right, the risk rewards are great. There is a similar way you can approach to trading it. Like for example, Vivarish comes up with something, and Sumit comes up with something, right? Now Sumit comes up with something which says that immediately the moment the signal is coming, it is a buy, or is it is a sell. Whereas Vivarish comes out with something that once it is a buy, you should wait for a dip of say 1.5% to 1% or something like that, and that is the best time to buy it actually. And that sort of similarity is resonating throughout his strategy, system, formula, whatever you can call it, right? And over the 10 trades, if you trade it in that manner, it is better. It is okay if you can invite some more perspective of basic technical analysis along with those indicators, right? That is also allowed, not a problem. On the other hand, suppose again coming back to Sumit's strategy. So Sumit says that every time this gives a signal, it is a buy within the next 5 minutes. Every time it says that this should be bullish, it's a buy every in the next 5 minutes you should buy it. And every time it says bearish, you should immediately sell it. And then the exit depends on you, or the exit depends on other things which may not be included in that strategy. Even that kind of thing is allowed, as long as over the 10 times Sumit recommends, his strategy recommends a trade, that time it is actually coming out in a certain manner, and out of the 10 times maybe 7 times it is becoming a very powerful move. And again, it is okay if there is an additional technical parameter which you can read on the naked chart. Maybe you don't need the chart, but if you can get it in the limelight, it is good. So when Javanji had shared with me initially, taking his example, in the month of March, so he showed me, and we developed this. Actually, he developed this spider query, spider scanner. So I also ran it time to time. He ran it more. So he was very observant of all those things. And whenever I ran it, something came to my mind that okay, if you run it in the middle of the day, sometimes you can get an interesting stock pick which may be moving a lot, which may have something significant, and before it actually closes even higher, you can with other technical parameters find that okay, this is something interesting. So sometimes these things get the stocks to your limelight, and then you can use your brain otherwise to find it. Like for example, how Adani Power has moved today in the end, how Jubilant Food has moved towards the last 2 hours. If you look at those stocks, momentum strategy may not be able to pick up those kind of strategy. For example, how the reversals are, momentum strategy will be able to take up the reversals much better manner. Sometimes sideways movement and breakout momentum strategy can get. So it is not important that your strategy will catch every wrinkle of the market. The important thing is that your strategy should give consistent result. This is one trap a lot of people fail to. I'm writing a book on trading psychology, as all of you know, and so finally I'm redrafting the book. And the first chapter in the first chapter I wrote recently that we human beings want to feel that the market is like a treadmill, and that you need to keep running as the treadmill is running, right? The market is a path, and it is not a treadmill, and your vehicle is trading. The vehicle through which you are moving money is trading in an attempt to move it forward, move it towards more money, right? Now, when it is not a treadmill, I mean to say simply that each and every trend, each and every turn, each and everything is not important. What is important is that when you enter the markets with money, you come out with more money. As simple as that. Money is the unit of capital over here and in all other businesses, right? Okay. Speaking of money, Kunalji is saying that he is off to Tirupati in the inner circle group. So God bless Kunalji and everyone else here. So I guess you're getting the entire picture. Any questions so far? And I'll show you certain things how you can develop examples how you can develop. Any questions so far? Anything interesting you want to share? I'm guessing no questions. So coming to again what the format is going to be. What is the format is going to be? The ways you can contribute. So each one of you can take up either the whole host of all the FNO stocks or a lot of cash stocks, include anything you want to, or at the minimum, I recommend you all each one to take up 20 stocks, just 20. Okay, any 20 you like, preferably if you're taking a smaller group like 20, then take up the large caps or take up the FNO stocks which are there, right? Take those stocks up, make an Excel sheet. Okay, in that Excel sheet, make 3 columns. One is weekly, second is daily, and the third is hourly. Okay, these 3 columns, you write your comment and you update that Excel sheet every day. Okay, now on certain days an updation will not be applicable, so make another column to write updation not applicable. If that is written NA not applicable, or UNA updation not applicable. Okay, you write it in that manner, and I'm sure by tonight some of you may be wanting to share such a thing. Take up any 20 stock. It may be like if your favorite car is from Maruti or Tata Motors, you take up that. It can be any stock. Maybe you're used to trading SBI, you take up that. Maybe you're used to taking up trades in the indexes, you can take up those. Okay, make 3 columns: daily, weekly, monthly, and in sorry, daily, weekly, and hourly. And in that you write your comment, right? So maybe on one fine day there is not a change in the weekly, because on day-to-day basis there will be not much change in the weekly column, right? Now in the weekly column you can keep that constant, and everybody who is reading it logically knows that that is one constant throughout the week. So there is not really going to be much change. But maybe in the week there is a lot of action, and there is something which is developed in the current week. You write a comment on that in the current week. Then you come to the daily chart. Coming to the daily chart, there may have been something interesting happening in the last one day, or 4 days, or 5 days, or 10 days, whatever it is, you write that. It can also be that the market is moving slowly, or it is moving sideways and there's nothing much to write. Then you write the fact that okay, this is what it is doing. Now coming to the hourly, obviously this will have a little more updation, depending on again if the market is not sideways for more than 4-5 hours. So in those cases you can keep that as constant. Out of the 20 stocks, maybe on one fine day there are significant changes on your Excel sheet, or significant things on your limelight stocks which are on your limelight, on those 20 stocks, right? And those 3 or 4 stocks you need to highlight separately. So you just need to write one new row. After the 20 stocks, you make a new row, and I'll show you the Excel sheet how it can be right now in front of you. Okay, 1 second. Why is this hanging? Okay, so I'll show it to you. Yeah, so you can write it in that format and put it forward. Now, of course, as you write things, you will also develop a knack for writing it, right? You will develop a knack for writing it. Be regular, be disciplined with this. Okay, try never to miss out. Try to give this 100% attendance, because in the end it is for your good to give the 100% attendance to these things. The person, always remember, the person who is observing does have a special kind of hold towards the output and the results which he is talking about. So as a person who is preparing this Excel sheet, you will be in a position to come out with interesting things. But someone who is reading this Excel sheet should also take out time and go and look at what the chart is talking about, what the person is talking about in that chart. Maybe in a certain way, certain thing resonates with you a lot, and you say, yes, I'm also looking at the same thing. Maybe in a certain manner, it does not really resonate with you so much. No problem, you don't have to trade on it. You can watch it. You can watch it the next time the person comes up with something similar. You can watch it again and perhaps slowly and steadily learn a few new things. Like, for example, I have seen some students are very aggressive with RSI, and in the hourly charts they go that this is coming to 60 level, this is below this is below that. To another part of the student group, maybe those things are not gone into so deeply earlier, and you look at that and you feel like, oh my god, what is this, what is he talking about, right? No problem, you might learn something. In the end, you can just observe and not trade on it, or you can make your observations and probably not base your trade on the other person's observation, but in the end you're going to learn from those things, right? So I hope I'm clear with this and everybody is okay with this kind of a practice. So this would include about 20 stocks list, and in that 20 stock list, I'm more than sure every day you will have a few major updates, so focusing on those major updates. Now of course you can explore more than 20 stocks, so you can keep those 20 stocks as constant and the others you can just keep exploring, right? So that is not a problem, you can do that. I hope I'm clear. Perfect. Thank you for raising the hand. Any questions? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute you one by one. I'm going to unmute you one by one. Those who want to talk, you can talk about the last two trades you took, how they worked out, why you took them. Even if they were not a winning trade, it's fine as long as there was valid and good reason to take those trades. You can share with each other in this meeting right now. So who wants to go first? Raise your hands, I will unmute you. Who wants to go first? अरे भाई, ट्रेड शेयर करने को बोल रहा हूँ, गाना गाने को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. जब ट्रेड लिए थे तब तो हिम्मत दिखाए थे ना, या तभी भी सोच सोच के ले रहे थे. Who wants to go first? Great. Very big hand for Sumit. He wants to go first. Great. So Sumit, I will unmute you, okay? I've unmuted you. Just you unmute yourself and you will be able to talk and share with everyone. Each one of you should look at the chart which he is talking about while he is speaking. Okay. सुमित, आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर लो. आप खुद को म्यूट किए हुए हो, एक बटन होगा वहां पे, आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर लो. सुमित, are you there? I have unmuted you. वहां पे एक माइक का बटन है, उसको आप क्लिक करो सुमित. हाँ, हाँ. और सांसें आपकी जोर जोर की आ रही है, तो थोड़ा धीरे सांस लो और बोलो सबको. Anyway, everyone can hear Sumit?
Hello.
Yes, Sumit, we can hear
Hello.
you.
सर आई एम ऑन अ बाइक. आई विल टेल यू. मैं ऑडियो सुन रहा हूँ, तो मैं बाइक पे हूँ अभी. मैं बात बोलता हूँ बाद में.
अच्छा, तो
हेलो.
आप अपने ट्रेड, लास्ट दो ट्रेड के बारे में बताना चाहेंगे? क्या रीजन से आपने लिया, कौन से चार्ट पे क्या था, ताकि सब सुन सके.
यस सर, बट आई एम ऑन अ. मैं अभी बाइक पे हूँ, मैं ऑडियो सुन रहा हूँ आपका. तो मैं थोड़ी देर में पहुंचता हूँ घर पे, वहां से
ठीक है,
आपको
आप
शेयर करता हूँ.
श्योर आप वापस से मेरे को मैसेज कर देना. यहाँ पे आई एम म्यूटिंग यू
यस.
रवि. आई एम म्यूटेड यू. रवि, आप शेयर करना चाहते हैं? मैं आपको अनम्यूट कर रहा हूँ. एवरीवन ओपन योर चार्ट्स. रवि, go ahead. Welcome. Ravi.
Hello.
Yes, Ravi
Getting
ji.
getting my voice.
Yes, I'm getting your voice.
Okay. Actually, last trade I have taken, that was the SBI. I have sold it around 301K around me.
Okay, what was your logic behind the trade?
Actually, I have posted the chart in the group also. The RSI was showing the bearish divergence, and bearish engulfing pattern was there. And hello.
Yeah, we're listening. We're listening.
Actually, there were two reasons behind this trade. One was the RSI was showing the bearish divergence, and another was the bearish engulfing pattern, and a certain resistance was seen there on hourly and 4 hourly chart.
Okay.
I have taken this
So you
trade,
went
and
short on SBI?
yeah, I went short around 301
Okay.
and booked profit around 296.
296, 301. So
Yeah,
that's great. So that's great. So your
I have,
logic for
I have,
booking.
sorry.
Yeah, so can you explain your logic for your target booking profit?
I actually I was observing this stock on a hourly basis, and I have seen that I have seen that key 300 area was resistance. There was a visible resistance on a 300 areas, and I have seen a reversal pattern there. That was bearish engulfing pattern, and RSI was also showing a bearish divergence. So I found it on a 4 hourly chart, and then I have converted it to hourly chart. I have seen the same pattern over there, so I have choose the trade. Why choose? I've gone with the trade.
Wow. Wow. Great, Ravi. Thanks for sharing your trade. Any other trade you want to share?
No, at presently I have taken only one trade. It is my first trade.
Oh wow, I think you've after the batch got over and you have spent a lot of time on practice also, and now you've started trading. So like this was your first trade after that?
Yeah, exactly. Last we have
Okay,
discussed about this, so it was my first trade.
okay, perfect, perfect. So I've shared my screen now. All those who are not having their or say watching this on their phone can see this as well. So he saw that there were multiple divergences on RSI, which he has posted in the group as well, and he saw that there is on the hourly as well as 4 hourly chart. Right now, I'm just having one time frame in front of me. He saw there was a bearish engulfing, and as taught in class, this has a thrust. This is a thrust to the price move, and since it is against the bigger overall trend, he booked out the profits the next day itself. So he went short on this day or something. Which was the date you went short on?
Yeah, it was on the same day. You're right. You
Yeah,
here it is. Yeah, right.
yeah. So this is around 305 levels.
305. I went short on around 301 around.
Okay, so maybe SBI futures was 301 here, something at the low
Yeah,
near the lows, right?
yeah, right.
Okay, so you got a trade along with the correct momentum turn in the
But
direction of the
but
momentum now.
yeah, right. Actually, during the trade, I just I got encountered something, so I just wanted to confirm how can we find out the strength behind the trend. Suppose we have find out the trend, we have find out the reversal pattern, we have seen
Hmm.
the bearish diversions also, but there is something through which we can determine the strength behind the move. Suppose I have got the move, so how can I determine the strength of the move?
Very good question. I'll come to the answer now. Simply understanding this, Ravi, you have to see you are going against the larger trend. The daily trend is still up,
Yeah,
right?
right,
Now,
right.
if the
Yeah,
daily trend is going strongly, determining the strength of a correction can be a matter of chance also. Agreed? That
right,
I don't know if this divergence will lead to a sideways movement or if this divergence will lead to a downward movement, right? So
right,
in this scenario, what I'm going to see is that once I have got the thrust, either the either it will strike low and go to an extreme because prices move in extreme, right? So
right.
the correction will also be an extreme more than the deviation normally. So for example, what you can do is, like when we talk about moving averages in class, right, we talk about how we can see a deviation from the mean, right? So when you're using 20 moving average, a standard measure for Bollinger Band is 20 moving average. Now you have to first observe how this works out for you and how it suits you, how you're able to read it, and then come to the clarity of those things, right? So if once you put the Bollinger Band on screen, for example, you are seeing that it is hitting the lower end of the
Bollinger Band.
the lower band, right? The lower end of the band. Now, when it hits the lower end of the band, either it penetrates and continues penetrating into it. That means there is a deep correction. Deep correction can be there, or there can be a correction which forms a base. In that case, it will absorb in time, right? So this is absorbing the power of the down move in time and creating a base again. So you can have a time stop loss on your trade on that basis, because you know you're against the trend or against the larger trend. Still you are with the short term immediate thrust. So in this case, this trade can be called a scalp. It is not really a trade with the trend holding on for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
this, you were right in being spontaneously booking out profits from this trade, and you can continue to do that. And when you find things like that, you can continue. Number one. Number two, you, in this case scenario, it worked out like this. In some other case scenario, it can go a little down more, right? So you don't regret too much, and keeping your trading psychology in place, you know what the trade is there for, and there is a minimum potential move for the trade, and then there is a maximum potential move for the trade. So the minimum potential move for the trade is supposed to be taken in the trades which are against the trend. Are you getting my point? All
yeah,
of you.
got you.
Right. So you did the right thing in that manner. And so this was, thank you, Ravi, for sharing this trade with us and telling us how you managed to come to this trade. So again, his basic parameters was that he saw multiple divergences between price and RSI, and that is showing a slower momentum. He also saw that there is a resistance zone, which I will show you just now by converting it to the daily chart. So he also saw that there is a resistance zone right in front. Okay. Now this zone, as we have done in class, the interaction points where there is a lot of strong movement. There is a strong movement of price by exchange between buyers and sellers. And around this zone, the price, which is coming up fiercely, seemingly on the daily chart, slows down and takes a thrust. So his logic on this trade was right. And yes, all those who are watching the recording of this video want to understand one thing, that the market offers us different things at different times. All the time it will not give us those 5%, 10% trades. We are capable of finding those out, even in fact more easily. But these trades can be understood with a certain logic, and you can develop your niche with the singles you take, and the fours and the sixes will also come along the way. So thanks again, Ravi. And now who wants to go up next? So I'm muting you again, Ravi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who wants to come up next? If you're not in a silent place, you can come to a silent place. This is meant for sharing with each other. It can also be certain trade you observed but did not take. Thank you, Vibarish. So next comes Vibarish. I have unmuted you, and so have you unmuted yourself. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just be a little more clear.
Okay. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yes, now it is better.
Uh, I think I took trade on last week on Tech Mahindra.
Tech
I will
Mahindra.
yes, sir, Tech Mahindra. Can you open the chart for me?
Okay, 1 second. Tech Mahindra. So should I put the daily chart on?
Yes, sir. Daily, sir.
Okay, tell me.
Just remove the Bollinger Bands. So just for
Yeah,
direct.
please
And
go ahead.
put volume.
What do I put?
Volume, sir. Volume indicator.
Volumes. Okay. Yes. Go ahead. Tell me.
Uh,
Which date?
I took on trade on 21, sir. 21/8.
This one?
No,
This
sir.
candle?
No, sir.
This
Next
one?
to next. Next to next. Yes. Next to next. Yeah,
Okay.
this one.
So Bibarish took a trade, finding a confirmation with higher highs,
Yes,
perhaps
sir.
a
Yes.
pattern. And you explained, sorry, I went on.
Okay.
Yes. So he took a trade on this date, right?
Just
What was
zoom
this
out little bit.
level where you took the
Zoom out little bit. So I like.
Come again, please.
So actually, after the overall trend is up. So my trade I was looking for, I was analyzing based on Elliott theory also.
Hmm.
I thought either it is 4/5,
Hmm.
then ABC. This is one possibility, sir. So it actually it also looks like a cup and handle.
Okay.
So actually the price was I'm looking for if the price crosses 688.
Okay.
So it's
So
a buy
this,
signal for me. 688.
okay. This is the cup and handle you were looking at.
Yes, sir. So it's also
Okay.
it looks like a ABC correction. So or 1, 2, 3. So both are for me Elliott from Elliott both are giving me one bullish signal.
So the APC you saw was on the hourly chart or the daily chart?
So, in daily chart also in alternative ones I'm talking about, sir.
Okay, so this was your alternative count of this is an ABC correction based on Elliott.
Yes, sir. It could be ABC or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I got your point. So the alternative count was that this is a ABC and you took the trade over here after it
Yes,
went up with volumes after the
yes, sir.
breakout.
Yes,
So you
sir.
took the trade in the morning?
Yes, sir. Morning around 700 I took, sir. 700 and booked a profit the next day. Next day around 720, I think.
Okay. Okay, so from 700 to 720 you took a short-term trade on
Yes, sir.
Tech Mahindra on the basis of the overall strength, the cup and handle pattern, as well as
And
an
Elliott.
alternative count of Elliott, which showed you that perhaps on the daily chart from the highs till here there is an ABC.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the alternative count was from here to here. There is some sort of ABC, and anything on this wave, on this subwave, something.
Also ABC for me, it looks like ABC for me.
Okay, so should
From
I put the
hourly
hour?
point.
Yeah,
From hourly point.
I will. Okay, I'll just put the hourly chart.
Hourly, it's very clear.
Oh wow, this is beautiful. I think you posted about this in the group as well. So this
No,
is
sir.
a very clear.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm right. What you saw,
Yes,
I
sir.
have.
Yes, sir. That one. Exactly.
Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So he
Yeah.
took the
So
trade.
everything comes together, sir. That day it's opened gap up, so little bit gap up. So I took it early morning, starting at.
Okay, okay. So it was a gap up. So you
Yes,
bought the gap up because it is with the
yes,
overall stronger trend, and
yes,
you were convinced with the gap up. And what was your stop loss the previous day? Low?
yes, sir. Previously low. Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
this was his stop loss, this was his entry, and his target around 7:20. The next day he got out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this was the profit, take profit. Perfect. Perfect. So those who are watching, understand what he saw, things coming together, and that is how things happened, and it worked out for him very, very well. And this is excellent. This is excellent stuff. And anything else? Anything else about the particular, any other parameter? I think this is good enough number of parameters with
Yes, sir.
powerful daily charts, right?
Everything comes together for this.
Come again, please.
Everything comes together for in areas and candles. This everything is came up together and it's very good trade.
Yes, yes. Great, great. This is actually a very good trade. Everything did come together. So Bibarish is one of the students who practices a lot, and his speciality is, and this is not the first time, his speciality is, since he's done the course, every time he comes up with multiple things coming together, and he gets the more strong setups, and he likes to take the stronger place. So that is excellent. So thanks Bibarish. Any other trade you want to talk about?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Barish. That was great. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. I'm muting you now.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So that was Vibarish. Who wants to come up next? Anybody is welcome to. Don't think that your analysis should be super complicated or super advanced to share anything. Just share the trade you took, why you took it, and we can learn from another person's thinking pattern and see that what works for us over here, if we kind of give it a little bit of perspective. In the end, in trading, what works for you may not work for the other person, right? But if we can gather some perspective and develop the perspective together, then it's a great thing. Anybody else who wants to come up next, raise your hands. आप लोग हेजिटेट मत कीजिए, इतना हेजिटेट करोगे तो ट्रेड कैसे लोगे? Anybody else? Raise your hands. Anybody else? Ashok ji, very good. And be ready. The next person, be ready. Ashok ji, I'm unmuting you, right? I've got a message by someone also. Okay, Muni ji is in a noisy place. You type. Okay, Puneet ji, by the time Ashok ji is explaining, or you take your time to listen to him also, and you type. I will read it out to everyone. No problem. Ashok ji, I'm unmuting you. Please unmute yourself. There is a button to unmute yourself, and then you can talk. Yes, you are unmuted now.
Hello.
Welcome, Ashok ji.
Hi everyone, how are you?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're doing fine.
Come
Yeah,
again?
good. Hope everyone is doing fine and able to hear me clearly.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second, please. I'll put my earphones so that I can hear each one. Yes, Ashok ji, please go.
Yeah, hope everyone can hear me now.
Yes, everyone can hear you. I think everyone has the earphones. Each one of the clarity is there for everyone. Go ahead. You have
Yeah,
posted a chart.
yeah, yes, exactly. Actually, I have to post this on Saturday, but by mistake I was not able to do it. But if you see, open the Bank Nifty chart on the daily time frame.
On the daily time frame, okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So as you can see the chart what I posted. I've marked two trend lines on the daily charts. I've made a
Hmm.
channel actually. So if you
Hmm.
see the channel, the bottom on the last on the closing of the Friday one, exactly
Hmm.
coming on the channel lower channel line.
Okay.
So
So in the post you have made in the group, I really cannot see the other points on the lower end of the channel. So can you please just post a bigger chart or tell me the date where I should pull the line from?
you can
Can we go one more
yeah
point
one,
on the channel?
if
Okay, I think
you
I
pull
can figure
yeah
out. Just let me pull it out. The, okay, so let me just make the lower trend line first.
yeah
So, okay, so this is the trend line you were looking at, the lower trend line on the uptrend. 1 second.
the closing of
Now we
the
can see the.
on Friday on daily charts.
Okay, so on the daily chart, you were looking at this. Okay, this makes sense. So the zone near which the trend line comes for the third time it takes. Now, whenever I've spoken about a trend line, I say make it valid when it comes and breaks it after testing it 3 times. But in this case, it is tested it twice. It is with the larger trend, and he has taken a probable trade. Every trade is a probability in the end. So he's taken the probability that it can bounce from the third time it is testing the trend line. Am I right? Ashokji? Ashokji, we lost you on the sound. Okay, I'll unmute you again. Unmute yourself, please. Yeah,
Well done.
please go ahead. Yeah, so
Can you
this
draw
this is the
parallel line
yeah.
of the lower channel?
Okay,
Uh,
so the upper end of this channel.
yeah, I think around 8th or 9th of August, where the bearish engulfing candle is there. No?
Wait a second. From around these areas. Some. Wait a second. See,
The
the channel.
lower end you have taken. No, it is not parallel. Yeah, exactly. Now it is. Can you stretch it? Yes,
Okay, okay, okay.
almost. Yeah. And secondly, if you can draw a rectangle or this August month from this horizontal line should be the high of this August, just a rectangle for August month
Okay.
only. High will be the top of the rectangle and low of the August will be the bottom of the rectangle.
Low of August. Something like this.
I'm not able
Something
to
like
see you
this.
have drawn or not actually. I can see the channel. Yes,
Okay.
but till last Friday you can stretch it
Last Friday. The date
for the
would be
complete
given.
yeah for complete
Like
August month
this.
till last Friday. You'll have to stretch more for August, no? You'll have to come up to the start of August. Ye-
Yeah, the start
yes,
of August
yes,
is
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
right, right. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can see
Hmm.
the candle which I closed on Friday was at around somewhere around 27,900 levels and at the bottom of
Around
the channel line. According to the uh, yeah,
this one. Okay.
3 days, three red candles were there. Red volumes means very good volumes of a downtrend for 3 days in Bank Nifty. But the third day,
Okay.
the candle is
Hmm.
that big as compared to the second last day of it, that is the Thursday.
Okay. So
So
your idea is that this candle is small in the body of this candle is small, and this
yes,
particular candle is big. So the candlesticks are telling us that uh, the market is not so strongly going down anymore. So the emotional nature of the market is strongly down over here, but not anymore over here, right?
and secondly, also the most important thing was all the 3 days it was bearish. So there could have been opportunity for the newcomers to get into the long side, which the
Okay.
third day candle was showing. Candle body was showing, mainly the body, if you see.
Okay. Just one more thing, Ashok ji.
Yeah.
One thing. Tell me, did you look at for the support region over here? Were you looking at this support region over here?
No, only these things I saw. The channel, the
Okay.
rectangle,
So
the volumes. The three things,
okay. So
what the
channel.
conclusion was, being 3 days very bearish. Though the things were, the reasons were not showing anything bearishness. Only what I was making out that profit booking was going on. That's why it was coming down, and it was
Right.
having a strong base. You can see the line horizontal and which it is there. You can see
Right.
two three supports over there right now. The two candles already there. So I found that
Yes.
this could be a good support, and it can go again to the levels of 28,005 to 300 to 500. And
Yes.
same thing happened today, almost 400 points. It opened gapped up by 125 points, then it went to 28,000 near to 300.
Right. Right. That exactly I get your point. In fact, just to add a little bit of an input to Ashok ji's trade setup, I was looking at Bank Nifty on the hourly chart as well. There were very major interaction points in this area and this area where the Bank Nifty had straight away come from the fall. So
Correct.
and
Correct. I have,
and
sorry to interrupt you. Correct.
yeah,
Hourly, I've seen this also. That's why I was most focused on daily.
yes. I understand. But you must have seen this also, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So great. So we have a few things coming together. Ashok ji saw that in the middle of a strong uptrend, Bank Nifty is correcting for roughly 3 days, and actually exactly 3 days, and it is coming down near a very strong support area. And in that support area, we saw that there is a trend line as well as a support line. So there's a confluence of two things over here. And when there's a confluence of two things, we like it when two things come together, right? And in these two things coming together, also, if we look at RSI, it went to the extreme sub 20 levels for once. So
Yes.
that is also something we can take away from. And for the last 3 hours or so, we saw Bank Nifty was hovering sideways. So I think this has become like a little smiley. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. But yeah, so from here, he saw that it is possibly going to have a bounce. So I think you traded this with options.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now that we have done the option scores, the delta of the option, etc., must be well calculated. Just for the
More,
delta knowledge, just for the
yes.
delta
Yes, I was more positive. That's why, and I'm looking for a run up to this expiry. So I've gone
knowledge,
for a 28,500 call.
20,500 call. And what kind of
Yes,
return has it already given you?
already it is more than double.
Okay, it's more than double. Okay, perfect. So 28,500 call he has, and he is looking for. So have you scaled out with certain portion of your trade,
No,
or are
no,
you?
I'm holding. I'm holding it, and then I'm most probably will be holding till maximum Wednesday if things are fine, or else I will close them before that also. If I'm comfortable, means
Oh,
I'm looking at the trend and the things how they are going.
right, right. So Ashok ji taking an excellent trade where he has more than doubled his option positions, and he is holding on to the trade. Either he will hold on to it for a longer haul, and or he will square off before Thursday, Wednesday only he'll square off.
For call was that since it was a weekend, means Friday, so 2 days weekend, and the level was also, though it was important, but nothing could be said in market. That's That's why I didn't went for futures. Otherwise, if I gone for futures, it will be tremendous returns.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, options provided you with a good leverage according to the delta also. So I think
Exactly.
it's no complaints having double the money on a trade.
No, no, I'm not saying that. I mean, so if it's been in the week itself, so it is really good for go for the futures in that case. So you can get very good returns because I just share one more thing. I exactly don't remember the date, but I think 2 to 3 weeks back, similar trade was there on expiry around 27,450 470 where Bank Nifty closed. I'm just sharing it because it could help in future for all.
Yes. So please,
So
date again. Can you tell me?
though
Should I put?
though I didn't took the trade, but as per my analysis, it really worked out really good in less than 4 days. Bank Nifty moved up 1,000 points.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my the analysis were really means perfect. Though I didn't take the trade, but it will
This
help me in future.
last
That I'm good
this
to trade.
last month analysis. Last month expiry.
Sorry.
Are you talking about
Hello.
last month expiry? Are you talking about July expiry?
I'm
Ashok ji?
talking about somewhere July end or August first week. I don't remember exactly, but
Yes.
that time bank reached somewhere 27,450 490
Yes.
levels. And
Yes.
that it was a very good level from where it is going to bounce back to 28,000 plus. And next
Yes.
day itself, it made up from 400 points upside, and
Yes,
within
I
three to
think
four
a
days.
lot of students took that trade. A lot of
Yeah,
students took that bullish trade on Bank Nifty. Raise your hands those who took that bullish trade on Bank Nifty.
yeah.
Uh, I'll show the trade on the daily chart again. So there was a multi time frame breakout on, I think you're talking about this day. I also went long in the morning. So keep your hands risen up. I'll see who. I think this day you're talking about the breakout over here. You took the trade.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, even I took the trade over here, and there has been a very strong trend. So there was a congestion in one time frame uh, after already a breakout in another time frame. So there was a grenade breakout, which we call, or double breakout, we can say, on the similar lines with two time frames. So these causes very powerful moves. The volumes in the morning were excellent, and so did they continue till the end of the day. And any dip after that also was giving much higher. We are seeing that, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's great. That's great, Ashokji. Thanks for sharing all of that. And just to see who all took that trade, you're talking about this day. Sorry. Yeah, you're talking about this day. Yeah. Who all took that trade? Raise your hands, please. Quite a few of you took that trade. Great, great. And I think it was expiry day. It was expiry day. I remember clearly. And multi-bagger options and all that was available.
Yes.
Yes, it was 26th July. Perfect,
Yes.
perfect. So great, well, great going, guys. Great going, and thank you, Ashokji. Any other trade you want to share, Ashokji, with recently you took?
This was the most it's,
These are the
the
recent
parameter.
ones.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So thank you, Ashokji, again,
Thank you.
and yes, thank you for sharing with us. This is Mr. Ashok Telkar, and I'll mute you now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, another student has just shared one of his recent trades. And although all the students of Inner Circle are not here, it's a meeting at 9 p.m. and a lot of will be catching up on the recording. But still, and I'm sure some of them I know have a lot to share. Puniji, you were typing something, and I think I will now share that. Okay, Puniji, I'm unmuting you. So, unmuting Mr. Puneet. Go ahead. Welcome.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, we are. We all can hear you. You're clearly audible.
Yeah. So the trade that I want to walk you through would be HCL Tech, which today you highlighted in the group as well. So can we
Yes,
go to the daily chart of HCL Tech?
HCL Technologies and IT sector in play. So Bibarish also came up with something in the IT sector, and so is Punichi. So it's in
So
play. Powerful
mhm,
moves. Tell me.
yeah. So the date would be on 23rd. That is the third green candle, or the third candle that you see from the left.
Yes. So this day you took the trade.
Yeah, so it was basically I was working from home that day and I had a lot of time to observe the markets. And if you can draw an horizontal line at around 1020 levels, it would help me explain better.
So 1020 level, one horizontal line coming up for you.
1020 or 21 is also fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yes. Yes. So the reason why I this trade would be because this 1020 levels had a certain significance, which I thought had a significance. For example, if we zoom out, right, we can see that there was a doji which made an eye, and which it like bounced back out of that. And if you further zoom out, if you
I'll
further
zoom out.
zoom out, there are
Yeah,
many
zoom.
candles which had tested that levels, and the price did not sustain it. And
Wow.
yes. Okay, so I thought this was a very significant price levels where many times price has not been able to break out of it. And there was a very good breakout and there was a very good move. That is, yeah, exactly. So
Hmm.
I felt it is a very good, level or an interaction point, like according to our whatever learning we had learned. So
Yes.
that's when at the end of the day, after it, I was very sure that it will definitely close above this level. I bought in the future lot, so the price was around 1023, and I guess the next day I booked out on highs around 5 points. So, and even the I and
Sorry, I
earlier,
missed you. I could hear you. Next day you booked out.
yes, yes.
Yeah, what level?
I think I got around 6 points, so 1002, 3029,
Okay, so you took this
and
as
it
a
was
immediate scalp,
yes.
right?
And the reason was another significant price level itself. I think 1 minute I can refer to my chart and I can probably tell you. So I saw another resistance around I think 1030 or something.
Yes.
Or I guess yeah. So that's when I booked out in the early next morning.
Okay, okay. So you got in at around 1020, 21, and you got out around 2030.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is one quick scalp you took. Now let's just analyze this trade and the parameters again. As Punitji said, it was a very important level from quite some time back. Okay, and on the daily chart we saw how it has been tested many times, and in the recent daily chart there has been a strong doji candle and a fall from that. Okay, recent daily chart there has been a fall from this, and again we see some inputs from my end. uh, Over here I can see that there is another resistance zone which has been tested, and the price is sustaining above this. So price is eventually sustaining between two resistance zone. Can you all see it? The two, oh, what is going on with my computer? The price is sustaining between two resistance zone, right? So when prices are sustaining between two resistance zone, I'm marking the second one. So we have two interaction points at important levels, and this entire zone is very important for us. So we can see that the price ultimately, after sustaining, broke out from the second resistance zone. And if I zoom in, I see volumes also in this area. So good call, Puniji. Excellent call. And you took a quick scalp and book profits as per your analysis and conservative approach. I think Puniji has a style since he's in the psychology course also. We have been talking about certain things, and I pick up something he said once, that a few initial trades are good to get you started, and therefore I think that is one good reason for which you book profits. Am I right?
It was yes, it was more or less like a positive vibe that it worked, and I felt
Right.
it's better to book out.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Audible?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely audible. So Puniji sir, he gets a positive boost and a momentum with the first few trades. You want to book out and accumulate profits, which is a good way. As I said earlier, everyone will have their own individual approach. And for example, when I have to start, okay, I have to start trading from a point of view that I am an accumulator. I like to just take a few thousands off the table and gather some momentum and hit properly to a better trade where I know this is going to last and trend. So everyone develops their convictions, and even though the trade later has shown a newer high today, it does not mean that what he did was wrong. It is, you can't overlap those things, right? Today, for just to share with you all, I took an intraday trade on HCL Tech when it rose from 1030 levels and it zoomed up towards 1039. So I got 1040. So I got a decent profit in these two candles, and I think this is going to trend higher as per the clarity I'm getting from the hourly charts and the daily charts. The volumes again have one of the things which came to my radar was that the volumes which we saw on this gap day, okay, they are slowly shrinking, and then at this low also we saw the volume coming to its lowest point, and today it has again come up. So a crunch in volumes led to the next move of the leg. So thank you, Puneet. Excellent analysis and excellent start. I think you've just recently done the course, so the first good trades and all are coming up. So congratulations also on that. And any other chart you want to share? Anything else you want to share in particular? Some old
Um,
students are also here with us. So a lot. Mhm.
no, Mokji. This was the
Go
one trade
ahead.
that I had taken. I did observe ONGC. I think I had posted a chart on that, like it being a trend line breakout and as well as a cup and handle, but I haven't traded
Yes.
that.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Even if you're getting along in observation, it is a step. It is a step towards building the skill, and it is okay to, you know, let go of certain patterns if you're not really very clear about it. And it's okay to just observe and enjoy the fact that you were right in calling it. So it's perfect and it worked out well. And I think you're talking about this cup and handle, which around here has given a small throwback. For everybody's learning, we can just draw the lines, and it has come around back to these areas of interaction points and
I think the line would be, I
these
think the price
important
level
points.
was 175, I guess. Price level was 175. Horizontal line around
Okay,
175 is what I saw.
okay, okay. So this is where you saw the trade. You're talking about this. Okay. So there's a small gap up today. You're talking about this today's move. So yesterday, I think you posted it, right? Yesterday or day before.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Is it fine?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I get your point. I get your point. So just one second. So he's also looking at these areas getting the price is coming out of these areas which have been earlier tested. So great, great Puneet. Thank you for the inputs. And he's taken this one trade. And Puneet, is it your first trade after the course on HCL Tech?
Yes, I had taken a quite a, I mean, months break. I had spoken to you on this, and yeah, this was one of the first major analyzed trade.
Wow, wow, great, great going, and all the best with the coming 4 days. Thank you so much. And I think I'll mute you now. You've also muted yourself.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much, Puneet. Yeah. And anybody else who wants to come forth and share their trades, if you want to feel like you want to type, you can type also. I'll read it out and share your analysis with everybody. And this is turning out to be a very good learning experience, although it is around 10:17 and some of the students are busy either traveling or I'm getting messages on the phone. In the group we are getting messages, someone is traveling here, there, somebody is busy with family, but they will catch up on the recordings. What about the rest? I think I'm getting some message. Raise your hand if you want to share something, guys. Okay, Puneet. I'll not open it at the moment, but I think I've got your point. I'll not open it at the moment because some reasons my browser is giving a little bit of a trouble. So during the webinar, I think I might not take this extra risk, but I'm getting your point. Thanks. And you can share it again in the group. Anyone else? Sumit, are you ready now? Are you hearing me, Sumit? So quite a few of you, in fact, all of you have shared. Akhilesh ji and Pritam ji are left. Do you want to share something? And Sumit, we are waiting for you. Okay. Okay. Sumit, your connection is a bit low. You're saying your audio is not supporting. Yes, I also felt that I couldn't hear you very clearly in the beginning. So should I share what you want to share? Akhilesh is saying he's not started trading yet. So Akhilesh was in the recent batch we got over. So eventually he will get into trading. And he has been observing. I'm sure he's a student who came regularly and is practicing. I remember Akhilesh, very enthusiastic. And we are happy always to have such people in our group who are so ready to learn. And the first time he ever spoke about the course, he was just ready to learn. So thank you so much for the enthusiasm. And if you want to share anything at all other than any particular chart, you can talk about it. And Sumit, which is your trade you want to tell me? You can explain it in the message. I will read it out to you. Okay, Akhilesh says that he's putting effort whenever he gets the time. Okay, great. Most welcome. So, Sumit, I think you wanted to share something. Okay, by the time you type Preetam, do you want to go ahead, ask something, share something, any particular trade, any observation, any trade you took, even if it is intraday, even if it is a few weeks back, you're most welcome to share with everyone the logic behind it. Which stock do you want me to put? Mahindra and Mahindra? Or Tech Mahindra? No, he is not here. He is not here with us in this session at the moment. Why do you ask? Just come to some nice trade you want to share so that we can all learn. So Preetham, another active student who has been trading somewhere in the last quarter of the course from that time, and he has probably he's feeling a bit shy right now, but I must tell you he has really gone with the recording again and again and written a lot of interesting notes with his observations, and it's highly impressive when students like Preetham, Sumit, and Puneet and Akhilesh and everyone who was in the last batch, they give that extra mile, and I feel like as if they are on the Saturday Sunday for 4 hours and 2 hours each and listening from me. But this is excellent. When I see the practice, I really resonate with it because when I started off, the enthusiasm is the same. I really can completely resonate with it. It's really nice to have all of you. And Sumit, आप type कर दो trade. Okay, Sumit's trade has come. So he said, I had taken first trade in PEL. I seen weekly chart, Poland flag pattern breakout, stock breaking resistance. After breaking the resistance, the RSI was sustaining at 40 and was showing positive divergence. Okay, so he's sharing something on the group, in the WhatsApp group. You all can see. So I'll put the PEL chart till then in front. PL, what's the symbol for PL in investing? Yeah, primal enterprise. हम लोग चार्ट इतना देखते हैं कभी कभी स्टॉक का नाम भूल जाते हैं लेकिन पैसे जरूर कमा लेते हैं स्टॉक से. So this was the chart he's looking at, which has moved up powerfully today also. Wow. So I think I've understood what he's saying, and I will just brief you all on his message which he sent. That he says that he's seen. Firstly, he said that he saw a very strong weekly chart. Now let's see the weekly chart of PL, and that was a cup and handle breakout. Did he say? Yeah. So he saw a very strong weekly chart on PEL, which is there. One thing I must mention is in line with the overall trend. I've spoken about distributions against the trend sometimes just go halfway the target, but this is in line with the trend. And against the trend, if somebody shorted, they would have got halfway the target. It wouldn't have gone really the. But with the trend moves and the patterns were working out well, so he saw a very strong weekly chart. And other than that, on the daily chart, he saw positive reverse divergence. I think he means. So the reverse positive divergence came around in this area where he went long, which is a superstar trade which he took, I guess, looking at the parameters and things coming together on a strong trend. So if I mark the strong spiky RSI move starting from these areas and these areas, the recent low of the RSI was here, and RSI has come about around this low again. So this is a reverse positive divergence because price is still making a high low. Price hasn't made a lower low. So he went long on these areas and he got out of his trade. And although he had two targets, one was near the interaction points over here. He had mentioned about it also. And other than that, it had taken a dip in his target area and then it has gone up again. So a learning we can take from this is that it is important to book profits, because if it dips again, okay, it can take away a major portion of your profit and you might get out in the training stop loss. The second learning we can take over here is that you do not need to time it in a way. You can always go long again and take a fresh trade. Okay. And or you can book out half your profits and you can hold on to the rest of the trade. So after a deep correction, he chose to take out the first pullback, which he did successfully. And I think I've mentioned all the points correctly, Sumit. Anything you want to add on, you can message. Okay, yes. Okay, thanks. Sumit, so excellent trade. Thank you for sharing this one with us. And excellent analysis going on. I'm not just saying excellent analysis to Sumit, but to everyone. It doesn't mean that if the stock has moved up 50% or 10% only, then it is excellent. Even if you got your right targets and you booked out the profits at the right moment, every day the market will not give the same shape or size of a move. So therefore, it is completely fine. So you can go ahead like that. This is perfect. And now time for me to brief you on how to manage your Excel sheet with analysis. So you write the stock's name, okay, and you write the stock's name in a particular cell, make a column out of that, right? Then in this column, you write the stock's name. Say you are wanting to go for 20 stocks. Okay, so you write 1, 2 and all. Daily time frame, or rather start with weekly. Fill in your details. Now this particular, each one of these should be long enough for you to write details. You don't have to write a small Excel sheet. I'll remove these markings. Yeah, each one can be long enough for you to write the details. And after weekly, daily, hourly, you can write a special column should be for not applicable. So one column can be not applicable, change is not applicable over here, so the analysis continues to remain the same, right? Now when you're writing on the daily chart, for example, write about the major levels which are nearby, write about the particular things which are related to indicators, RSI, or anything you are feeling that is coming about. It can be about candles, clusters, etc. Right? So you go on writing 3, 4, all the stocks you write. Then you make another. After these get over, you can make either a sheet 2, or you can write in the under the same space your final trades which you want to look for. Okay. So you say, for example, you write buy tech M around these levels, right? Around certain levels, right? Uh, so this is how you can talk about your trade design. Potential stop loss and target you can write. And remember, this is to share with each other. So if somebody else is having a different kind of an input towards something, they can use their own analysis and understand the trade design as a different stop loss or target potentially, and even as a different entry point. But if you write these things down, it will be beneficial to all. And all of you should share this in the group. And this is just to tell you how to streamline our efforts. So all of you keep sharing things so that we all can understand in a more organized way, and go into a core inner circle group, which will be even more private than the inner circle group, so that only the students who are contributing on the regular basis, being fair enough to those, uh, all those students, I'm going to make that core inner circle group. And once that is ready, we are going to go ahead and make a lot of money in the markets, right? So, in particular, anything you want to ask, anything you want to talk about? I think we had a great session, a good 1.5 hours of a lot of analysis sharing, and some real good inspiration from the students and how well they're doing with things. One of the most important key things to remember in trading is that you have to keep your pace. It's not a rabbit's job, it's a tortoise job. You take step by step, and market is one game, right? Market does not have a beginner level mode, advanced player mode, or anything like that. We all get a chance, equal chance to play in the advanced player mode. Okay, now when we don't have these different modes, it is extremely important for us to understand where we are, how we are heading towards it. If I come in with money, I come out with more money from the market. That should be the goal. And to design that goal in a structured manner, it is important for you to apply what you have learned. I personally, as a teacher, am very happy to see how you have applied all that I've taught you, and all the observation and the practice, which I feel the credit totally goes to each one of you. Thank you so much. And anything you want to ask, share, you can go ahead. Any doubts you want, any kind of doubts if you have, you can ask, right? or then we go off from this webinar. And some of the students over here, as much as 3 years old, 2 years back, they did the course, some 1 year back, some this year. And it's excellent. It's excellent to see you all. And we'll keep having these meetings. Thank you so much. It was great to have all of you. As far as the ideas regarding queries, regarding different type of things which you want to come up with, you want to share, get in touch with me. We test it together, we share it with each other. Once you have tested it well enough to make it in a manner that it can be told to people, right? We make a presentation on it, we share it together, and it remains in the core inner circle group so that everybody can learn from it, also give you additional inputs. And with such all inputs put together, we can come with further new things. So thank you so much again, and have a great night. Take care and be ready for markets tomorrow morning again. And we thank you for the initiative to come when called. And next meeting, more and more old students should be there. Those who are watching the recording, thanks for watching the recording, and keep contributing to the course group with all the old students, as you have been in a different format this time. It's more streamlined. Thank you guys. Yes, thank you all. Absolutely. Bye bye. Good night. Yes. Thanks, Akhilesh, Vibharesh, everybody. Thank you. Bye bye. Enjoy.